I'm David Hill, and this is R&D, a sketch comedy podcast.
You know, Dave, I actually realized I forgot to tell you something.
What's that?
I forgot to tell you the other day. I think I was recording something for obviously with my PC in tandem because that's when I need to record. I was using it and I get this like funny thing that happens with it. Doesn't happen all the time, but I have this weird thing with my mic sometimes in the PC when I'm recording like a video, where like the fan of the CPU just gets like very loud. And then all of a sudden, like, it fucks up with the recording because then all you hear throughout the recording is just like this like vibration. And I'm like, we've been trying to figure out like, what is this? Like, what the fuck is going on? And so like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is ridiculous. So I end up like finally like one day I was like recording a video and it wasn't going well and I was like, this is bullshit. So I I open up the whole computer and and this is my fault. I'm done for this, but like. This factors in later, but I had the computer on while I was doing it. And I'm like opening it up and I'm like, the fuck? So I unplug all the fans. And it wasn't any of them, and I figured out it was the CPU fan that was making all this noise. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not doing anything. Why is it getting so loud? So then, like, as I'm like looking it up, I'm like, okay, apparently you have to like you have to get into like basically you have to like reboot. Like boot up like the BIOS for like the computer or whatever, and then just like change the setting so like it's on silent as opposed to like whatever the hell is normally is the standard. But while I'm doing that, I got scared for a minute because like I did something and all of a sudden just like the computer just like shuts off. And I got scared for a minute. And I was like, oh no, I didn't just break my fucking PC. So I'm like, it won't turn back on. I'm like, this is gone. This is wrong. This shouldn't be going. So whatever. I ended up playing with it a little bit, and then it just like turned back on, and everything was fine. And I was like, thank God. So I almost forgot to tell you about it.
Yeah, I always feel scared rooting around in that. Like, I understand the point of the BIOS and stuff, but I just do not feel comfortable rooting around in that.
Yeah. All I really did is I went in and I told the CPU. I just changed it so the CPU fan is set on silent. But at the same time, it's always monitoring the CPU, so if it does get hot, it does, like, you know, go into, like, kind of an overdrive. But it was weird. Like, I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know why the PC is so loud. Like, I just hear, like, the fan all the time. And I'm like, I could just be sitting here just, like, reading, like, an article on, like, my computer, nothing else open, and the PC is just, like, this is cool.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm glad you spent 4 hours trying to figure out what it was and to finally find out it's a CPU. That's really great. It's really cool.
Yeah. So then what I did is I just lit my PC on fire, and I
dude, that's
and I just
cool.
left it in front of the neighbor's door.
Now it's time. Dude, that's cool. But now it's time for me to one up your story with a different story. So today at work, and I won't say where I work.
He works at the fish plant.
I'm doing. That's it. I was walking around my building, and
you just walk around the building often. You just walk around, just do laps around the building.
Yeah, it takes about a mile to do this loop around the building.
Yeah,
so it's a pretty big building. So like, I'm coming back, and I turn left off the sidewalk. I'm coming back into the building, and as soon as I turn this corner, I am met with this dude who is kneeling on the ground, and he has a rifle with a scope on it, and he is like pointing it in my direction. So he's kneeling and he has it up, you know, he's literally looking down the sights. So I panic immediately. It was always the best reaction. Immediately panic. So I immediately panic, and then the guy, it takes a couple seconds, but he gets up and like puts the gun in his truck or whatever. Right. So then I like kind of jolt in a different direction from him And I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to have to get in and tell everybody they need to get the hell out of the building. And like, we need to evacuate. Because this is just in our parking lot of our building. This isn't like, and this is not like some secluded place, right? This is within city limits.
Dave already told me this is going to be a funny story. So that's why I'm like laughing, not to like laugh at his horrible, like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want people to laugh because it's going to be funny. It's not too terrible. But like, so like I'm bolting, I'm about to run into the building and like tell everybody to get the hell out, grab their keys, everybody, let's friggin' bolt. And then he fires the rifle. It's a friggin' BB gun. And he had set up a little dinky target that he was firing BBs at. And I was like, what the, why? This dude has this rifle. It does not have the orange tip on it, and it's completely blacked out. Like it's just painted completely black.
I didn't expect it to, I thought you were going to say like, no, apparently he was just like in the army or something. But then when you said it fired, I was like, wait, what? And then you said he's a BB gun. I wasn't expecting that ending.
Yeah.
Holy
I should have given like more build up. But yeah, dude, just like I was just so blown away because
you had plenty of build up. What are you talking about? That was plenty of build up, dude. You were all like, yeah, man, I was like running inside the building. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah. Dude, like, I mean, I was just like, I can't believe this dude's got a BB gun, firing a BB gun in a public place. And the state where I live classifies BB guns as deadly weapons. So this guy not only was brandishing a deadly weapon, he discharged a deadly weapon in public.
But like, what?
So,
I don't. That may, see,
the story continues.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, how do you?
So
okay, I'll ask questions when you're done.
Another one of my coworkers, like shortly after my little incident, he kept doing. I guess he just kept there shooting targets because, like, 2 minutes later, like I'm still heading into the building and I'm telling everybody like, there's a dude with a BB gun out front. Let's just, why don't we keep an eye on that situation there? And one of my coworkers drove into the parking lot, saw that guy firing. I mean, took no time to assess the situation. They literally turned around and sped out of the parking lot. You could hear like the wheels screeching outside. We're like, what the hell was that? And they had driven off as fast as they could, and they called the police. And then another coworker ran inside and told one of our other supervisors, and that person called the police. And this is like a big shared office space. There's like multiple people calling the police on this dude. Like,
Jesus.
People, yeah, I mean, like, you cannot tell it's a BB gun until he fired it. I mean, it looked like a bolt action like rifle.
That's insane. First off, forgetting the whole idea. Let take away the whole like law, the legality of it. Yeah, let's take that out of it. You were what? First off, who do this person work for that they were like, I'm gonna bring my BB gun to this office type building or a medical building? What kind of like what is it, like a state federal building? I don't know what it is.
No, it's just a business.
Yeah,
park,
right. So
like,
I didn't know if it was like, if it like,
space.
I don't know if there was like a whatever kind of, if it was just like a office type business building, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, it's just an office building. It's just a
So so this guy's and that's my thinking. I'm like, who do you work for? That you take.
That's the thing. He doesn't work in our building.
That's my thing, right? I'm like, well, that's what I mean. It's like you just got up and you were like, you know what? Normally. Well, this is me, right? I'm thinking I'm thinking like in a crazy way, but I'm thinking like somebody's sitting there.
Not as crazy as that guy.
Obviously, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, obviously, think about it this way. I'm sitting here in my room and I'm really into BB guns, right? But I'm sitting here one day, I'm like, you know what? Just playing with them at home, it's not hitting anymore like it used to. So what I got to do is I got to find a public office building. And I've got to brandish it, and I've got to set up some target practice there.
I got to point it at people.
And I've got to point it at people, but in my head, I'm thinking like, well, I'm not pointing it at anybody. I'm just like setting up my target or my shot. Like,
you know what? I forgot to mention too. You know what I forgot to mention? It's not like this guy was like randomly in like the back of a secluded parking lot. I need to make this very clear. He is at the entrance where you have to come in. pointing it at the entrance where you have to drive by or walk into the building. There's no other way. There's another entrance I get on the other side, but like it's a main entrance.
Well,
so like what the fuck are you doing?
The only explanation that I have is that literally what I just said is like somebody who really likes BB guns woke up one day and was like, man, playing with them at home ain't enough. I got to take it to the public square.
Yeah, so the cops showed up, obviously. You know, there's 2 patrol
It's not
squads,
even over?
and like, no, it's not even over. So the cops show up. So like I walk outside and like I was going to tell them like, hey, you know, just so you guys know for your own edification, I know it looks like a bolt action rifle, but it is just a BB gun. And before I could even say anything, they're like, oh, it's just a BB gun. Don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, thank God you guys already know. So I don't know if he got arrested or not because I was too busy like telling everybody inside. So I had come out like 5 minutes later. And I guess they were wrapping up, either giving him a massive fine or I don't know what they did. I don't know if they confiscated his weapon. I don't know if they arrested him. I unfortunately don't have any details because they kind of just shooed me away.
I feel like I feel like it's a little, and this goes back into the legality of it. I feel like it's a little much to say that it is a deadly weapon because it's obviously not. It could be if you shoot it in the like, you know, the right spot or like you hit somebody in a specific area where that could like really hurt them. But is it deadly, like lethal? Not necessarily. So I don't know if I'd classify it that far.
I think it has more to. I don't think it has anything to do with like how deadly the weapon actually is. I think it's to stop incidences like that where someone is brandishing what looks like an actual weapon.
That's fair.
So,
but usually, and that's the thing, that's like, that means like somebody, that means he bought that gun, that BB gun like that.
Stripped the, or, you know, he stripped the orange tab
or he
off of
stripped
it,
or painted over it or something.
Yeah.
Because
there's a reason there's an orange top, people. Like, I'm just saying, you can do whatever you want. This is America, but like, the only person you're going to have to blame is yourself if you're brandishing what looks like a gun out in public and you get hurt. Because I live in a state where you can conceal carry even within city limits, and you can use it to defend yourself, obviously. And like, my point is, if I had a concealed carry, someone brought this up to me. It's like, what if you had a concealed carry? I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, from where I was standing, I probably would have drawed on him. I'm not even joking, because from my point of view, it looks like you're about to friggin' shoot me.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
I can't tell.
Isn't that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole issue.
That's the whole issue with that concept of it, is that you may not know the full situation and you're just kind of like reacting to what you're seeing in front of you, which in some ways, like, you might have been totally justified because who the hell is this guy? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
On the other hand,
we work in a small building.
Right. It's funny because I have a friend who owns firearms, and he told me basically, you know, like, listen, I partially have them for self-defense, but I'm also going to be honest, like, I have them because like I just like them, I'm interested in them, and so he does go shooting at a shooting range, and he even told me, like, you know, and he's one of the people that I don't worry about. Like, I don't worry about someone like him, like, owning a gun. He's one of those people that I don't worry about, because he basically told me, like, that he thought about it for a while, and he's thought about the day that he does have to use that gun to defend himself, he knows it's going to be the worst day of his life, because he doesn't want to have to do that. So think about it that way.
Yeah.
Think about put you in that scenario. Say you have a concealed carry. He just ruined your life, because not only did that would be terrible. Not only did you like ruin his, but like now you have to live with that. So now we're getting very dark for what was otherwise a very funny story. But
yeah, no, I mean, this guy's so stupid. I mean, this guy was so dumb. I don't understand why you would do that. Like, we live in an area where you can drive 30 minutes outside of the city, and you can be in the rural area, and you can literally just fire an actual weapon out there. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know why he was like, you know what I want to do for lunch today? I want to fire a BB.
No, dude. You see, like, that's not even it, man. Spot. My dude woke up. My dude is like a big BB gun enthusiast. He woke up one day and he was all like, man, doing it in private ain't enough. I got to take it to the public square and practice.
I gotta do this.
I got to do this. And his mom's like,
I love that
his
line.
mom's like, baby, don't go.
Hitting.
And he's like, no. I got to do this for my country.
I have to do this.
I have to do this.
What an idiot.
Okay, baby,
oh my
just
gosh,
make sure you
what
pack
an
lunch.
idiot. Gosh, I hope that person is listening to this podcast. And you should just know you're a huge idiot.
Yeah, and then
just know that you are going to get you or other people hurt.
Yeah, imagine he has like
stupidity.
some like superior like IP tracking technology or IP address tracking technology, and he just like tracks you down and like he's shoots
pissed
you.
that the cops got called on him, so he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, he's like, who called the cops on me? What the fuck?
So
that
man, that was my story.
Kind of like, man, I feel like I let you down with my story. That was amazing. Wow.
No, I know. That's why I said I was going to one up you, but I had to share it because it just happened today, and I can't contain that.
That's amazing. That's like,
yeah, it was.
That's like, you honestly, if you were to write that in like a sketch form, I don't even think you would need to edit it. I mean, you do obviously, but I don't even think you need to like embellish it that much.
No,
like
I think it's already embellished
that was
enough.
just like, that's the story.
I would think the only thing I'd embellish is just I'd give someone a clear-cut ending. It's like, oh yeah, the dude got,
obviously, of course,
a ticket.
Yeah,
you get arrested or something silly. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's comedy gold, baby.
Yeah, or he like meant to bring his actual gun, but he really brought the. He's like shoots it. And he's like, oh fuck, bro, I wanted to bring the shit. I was trying to bring my AK, not the fake one.
I can't believe I brought my fake K with me. This is stupid.
That would be funny. You should write that idea down. You should definitely. I would explore that, man. That'd be a good thing to write. That'd be a fun thing to write about.
I might, dude. Maybe I'll make that my stand-up.
Yeah, dude, you should.
Boom.
There you go.
I don't even do stand-up, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to my city's Laugh Factory, whatever the heck is out there, and I'll just tell that story and see what I get.
Yeah.
See what reaction I get.
I think you could probably be. I think you should probably you can change up the whole game of stand-up comedy by sitting down during your set. You can be a sit-down comic.
Oh my gosh! Like what's his name? Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, man, you could be a sit-down comic.
He plays piano. Never mind. I'm sorry.
No, he sits down. Him. He doesn't count. We're more famous.
Right,
we're more famous than him.
Oh yeah, way more famous, dude. We created Between Two Ferns.
Yeah, we did.
We made that idea.
We're actually Between Three Ferns. We just lost the other fern in a car accident.
That's right. It was. We did three
tragic.
ferns, and he was just so angry he got rid of one of them.
Yeah, so instead of Between Three Ferns, it was all three ferns together, and one of them died in a car accident. So we don't talk about him though. Yeah,
dude. But yeah, man. So that was my day.
That's amazing. That's
that was my day.
That's frankly pretty funny. I was thinking before about how many iterations you and I had went through when it came to like doing this podcast. It was rough for a while. It was pretty rough.
Yeah. I would say rough.
Yeah, pretty rough. Cause I remember you and I think when we were graduating college, you and I were like talking about not only staying in touch, but also just like, oh, we should maybe like do like a podcast because nobody else thought so, but we thought we were really funny together. But obviously now, since we're worldwide renowned comedians, everyone thinks we're hysterical. So yeah, thank you.
Everyone. I mean, so many people are commenting on these on our podcast. It's crazy.
It's an amazing podcast. You should. Our
reach is like global.
Yeah, it's global. We got like
internet.
that 0.1% Brazil audience that we really appreciate.
Oh yeah,
we're here for you.
We appreciate that.
Yeah,
though.
we're here for you.
Do we really have a point? Wait, do we really have a point? I don't remember.
I could look it up really quick.
Oh my gosh, yes, could you? I would really like if you did that because I think you're right.
I'm gonna do that because
I think there is someone from Brazil who listened to our podcast, which is amazing.
Yeah, I kind of wish it would tell you. Not that I don't want to know the person's name,
like everything about them, like where they live specifically.
What's your credit card number?
So I can send them fan mail.
Okay. Let me look.
I know you listen to us, but I'm your biggest fan.
We have 95% of our audience is from United States. 2% of our audience is from Germany.
Whoa.
Which is like Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Less than 1% is Brazil, and less than 1% is United Arab Emirates. Emirates.
Yeah, Emirates. I think it's Emirates.
Um.
But that's crazy, though.
Yeah, isn't
What?
that weird?
Who the heck is listening to us in Brazil? Not that I want you to stop. Please continue. But like,
well, think of it this way, right? It's the funny thing is like you hear that and you're like, whoa, really? It's like, yeah, but like, how many people listen to us really? Like, what I mean like that is like, you'll look and it'll be like 7 plays, and you're like, dude, we got so many people. It's like, no, it's just like
we do.
It could be like one person watching from like this place. First off, I don't know how you have less than 1% watching. That's like seems like a weird number, but yeah,
less than 1%, baby.
Which is funny. Like I don't know. I mean, you just start a podcast, and I guess like I'm excited that we have anybody listening to it.
Yeah, that's fun.
Just
that's
even to have like 5
people,
even if we have like 5 people listening to it every week, that's excuse me, I'm gross. That's exciting for me.
Dude, give me last week's plays. I want to know just as a confidence booster. How many thousands?
We had less than we had 7 people the last time we released an episode.
7 million?
7 million. No, 7. Just 7.
700,000.
If it makes you feel better, then yeah, it's 700,000. Cool. Yeah, if it makes you feel better,
that's cool, man. It does.
Yeah,
because that means there's got to be like 10 Brazilian people listening to us.
Yeah. I was thinking about.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's what made me thinking about it, because we were doing this whole thing of like, let's write a sketch every week, let's write this every week, or let's brainstorm this week, and it just made me think about this show, I guess you'd call it. The show is just like kind of like evolving. And like we even said, I think in our first episode, I think I even like put a little blurb in the beginning, and I said like, listen guys, like we're going to be working through this. So like if it changes and forms throughout like multiple times, like don't be surprised, and also like go easy on us. But anyway, I was thinking about like the iterations we went through when we first started, when we were talking about it. And I think over the years, you and I have had like this weird thing where like we've went on and off of like talking to each other for a few months, and then like not talking to each other for another few months. But it's never been like weird. It's just like happens. It's never been like weird.
It's just life.
And yeah, but this time we've been relatively consistent, I would say.
Yeah. I'm the one that's not consistent.
No, honestly, no. You know what?
I
have to give you credit, because if it weren't for you, like if I haven't heard, like like for example, what I mean is by this, what I'm gonna say is, when I haven't heard from you in a few months, if it weren't for you like calling me, I don't know if I would ever reach out to you. Not because I don't like you, but because I would feel like weird about it. Because I'd be like, wow, it's been so long.
But because I also just really don't like you.
Hey, you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I would ever reach out to you.
Yeah, everybody says that to me, and I don't mean that in some sort of weird bragging way, but like, I don't care how much time has passed. If I was friends with you at one point, I will reach out to you eventually if I just miss like hearing about you. Like, for instance, I got on a phone call with one of my friends from high school that I hadn't talked to in, I want to say 2 years. I just picked up the phone like it was yesterday. I just called him up. I was like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Let's set up a time where we could talk every week.
Yeah.
And we do. And now we do that. And that's fun. And more people need to start doing that. You just need to nut up and be like, yo, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, I think that's just my problem, is that I feel like I have a very limited social kind of like battery for those kind of things, is what I guess what you've been calling it. Like I just like you and I talking one-on-one is okay. Me and talking to like, but like as soon as I start getting into like, as soon as I start thinking about like, oh, well, I gotta reach out to so-and-so, or I feel like I start thinking of, even though it's not, I start thinking of it as like, oh, this is so much work, bro. Like, even though it's not, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, I gotta talk to so-and-so.
I mean, that's how everybody feels, but like, not. I'm too extroverted for that. You're too for my own good.
You definitely are. You used to like just. I remember, and I believed it when you told me, but I have also seen it for myself, so I can attest to this, where you would tell me how if you saw somebody like in school sitting by themselves and they just like looked like they were kind of down in the dumps, you would just go and sit with them and talk to them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've seen
At
you do it.
university, I would do that all the
I
time.
used to see you do
Yeah.
that. And I always thought that was really cool of you. Because I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that in a million years. Unless like I saw somebody literally like in tears and I was like, well, now
Now you have
I'm
to.
obligated by
Now you're
yeah, I'm
obligated.
socially obligated
You
to
have
like
to.
see if you're okay.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just like, it's, people shouldn't feel like that. I mean, it all it takes is like a simple conversation. It's not even like, because I've talked to people about this too, and my friends, some of my friends have the consensus of, I don't want to talk to that person, screw that person. And I'm like, okay, cool. But other people are like, I don't even know what I would say. I was like, what would you say to me? Some probably random dumb shit. So just go up and just say some random dumb shit to that person. It'll most likely distract them from whatever they're doing and engage them in a conversation.
No, and that's
what I do
the
all
thing,
the time.
right? And that's so true because, dude, I'll be at like a party, and I tell my girlfriend all the time, I'm like, I really don't like parties, and she's like, why? I'm like, because, and like this goes to what you're saying. It's like, what do you mean you don't know what to do? You figure it the fuck out. I'm just like literally, it goes to that because I'm like, I don't like parties. She's like, why? I'm like, because I don't know what to do. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
because I don't know. I really I literally like to get into like really interesting and like deep conversation with people. And I don't really like to do that whole like, I don't really like to do like, what are you up to? What have you been up to? What kind of thing you like? Cause like, that's just not interesting to me. So like, I'm not like the biggest on like the whole small talk thing. I really like to just like, I really like to have like a deep, like not deep in terms of like, oh, I need to know like, what are you feeling today?
No, you're just talking about engaging and interesting.
Yeah, I like to like
think is what
engage. I like to feel like engaged.
That's what
with the
everybody
conversation.
means when they say that. When they say they hate small talk, what they really mean is that they don't want to sit there and talk about the weather. They want to talk about something interesting. And my point to them is, I mean, unless you're introverted and you really just don't like talking to people, that's cool. That's fine. But like, if you really want to become like more out of your shell, then I would suggest instead of walking up and saying hi, hello, say hey, and then say something ridiculous as if you've been their friend for X amount of years.
Hey, no, I mean that's totally. Excuse me, gross.
That's literally what you have to do.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But you know, point being, getting back to like what I was gonna say is like I remember us talking about doing this podcast, and I don't remember when we finally decided like, hey, let's do it. Because folks, if you don't know this, Dave and I have had a habit over the years of being, well, like every once in a while when we would get back in touch and talk, we'd be like, all right, bro, we're going to do the podcast. And he's like, and we're both like looking at it. We're both almost like, hell yeah, this is it. And then we just, after that, we don't talk to each other for a few months. And then it's over.
We're going to do it. Just
hell yeah. So we were kind of like sitting there and we're like, what could we, what could, because, you know, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I understand the logic of it. Some people think that you need to do a podcast and have like a gimmick for it. Like you need to have something to like bring people in and then they'll get attached to like the personalities in the podcast. And then it won't matter what the podcast is about because they'll like the people. I didn't necessarily think that, but I understood the thing. So like Dave and I were like hitting there. It's like racking our brains. Like, what can we do? This time we were actually going to do it. Like, what should the podcast be about? So our first idea was terrible. And I don't even know why we thought it would be. When we first talked about it, we thought it was amazing. We were like, this is going to be great. Our idea.
I'm afraid because I don't remember what our first idea was.
You're going to enjoy this one then. You're going to enjoy this then.
Oh, no.
Our idea was to listen to episodes of other podcasts. Each of us would we would either pick one, right? Like you would pick one and then we both listen to it, or we both pick one different, and we would come to the episode and we would talk about what we learned or what we thought was we would basically review the podcast.
So stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So let me tell you the balls on on two guys, Dave and I, thinking we've never done a podcast before, but what we need to do is start a podcast where we rip on other people's podcasts.
Yeah.
Because we're experts,
awesome.
right?
We are experts at that point. We would be. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I'm glad we did that. I'm glad that was a definite thing that we definitely did.
So we recorded an episode, and I don't even think I still have it. I might have just deleted it because I was like, this is terrible.
I don't even think. Oh my gosh, you're right. We did record. I deleted
We
that
recorded it,
immediately.
and we were like, okay. We both kind of knew, and I think we got to talking. We're like, yeah, that was shit, bro. That was like, what were we thinking? Like, this is not fun.
So
We did
bad.
some episode. It was like some kids podcast, and it was like about like this, like how there's like
what?
millions of insects in the air and shit.
Oh,
And-
I know why. Because we just randomly chose one. That's why.
Well, because
we randomly chose one.
Dude, yeah, because you went on there and you're like, oh, let's listen to this one. It was like the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm like, this is not gonna end well for us. That was the first one you
I know,
said.
but it'd be great.
Yeah, us just like reviewing the Joe.
The balls.
Yeah, us reviewing like the most
absolute-
popular podcast hosts in like the fucking like universe, and like you're just like
the hubris.
yeah.
The hubris we
the
displayed.
fucking balls on these guys to just come in and be like,
We were
yeah,
just
you know, I
like-
didn't like when he said this.
Oh my gosh, that's a dumb idea. I'm so glad that there is just an archive full of that somewhere. Oh wow, that is so fantastic.
So that would but then your second suggestion, I don't think was any worse, but it was also just like in the same realm. Then you sent me the Scrubs podcast, and I kept going back to like this is what the premise I just gave. I kept going back to the fact that we're trying to review podcasts, and we just started one. And we've never done them before. It's not like we have a whole history of podcast doing, and then finally we're like, let's do a podcast where we talk about other people's podcasts. Because what a weird, like, I don't know if there's an avenue or a media or a thing out there. Because there's YouTube where you could review games or movies and stuff, or there's like other ways you could do that, or even on a podcast you could do that. But reviewing another podcast, like, my God. Like,
yeah, no,
I think you said it best, the hubris.
The hubris.
Like, what the fuck?
We just did not have any good ideas, and that was the best that we had at the time.
Yeah. So, as you
so
know,
terrible.
because you are our famous listeners who have been listening to us famous comedians, we have settled. We settled on a little bit of a different format where it was just going to work blah 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 blah. Where we're gonna, apparently I'm going.
That's called a stroke. So so this is our new format where we talk about comedy.
Yeah, so we went to this format where like, let's write sketches every week. And this is the funny part about it, is that when we first started, we were both like, all right, let's you and I write a sketch every week, or not write a sketch every week, but like write sketch, we'll bring it to the episode and we'll do that. We did that for like the first 2 weeks and it was fine. And then I think you kept coming back and were like, yeah, man, I didn't write anything. So can we just write something on the episode? I'm like, okay. Or like we write. And then I think you called me with a, hey man, what would be work better for me is if we just like got together like an hour before recording and we just like wrote something. And I'd say,
and then it slowly devolved into let's just write it while we
so then I was like, okay, sounds good to me, I guess. As I said, we're still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And I think still at like episode like 11 or 12, wherever we're at, we still have no fucking clue. But we started trying to figure shit out. And I was like, all right.
No Clue podcast. That's what we should have called it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like R&D.
That's fine too.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a big R&D anyways.
Yeah, Ryan and Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then we went from that to like, oh yeah, and then you were like, oh, maybe we should just record us brainstorming because I don't really have anything ready and I don't feel weird about it. I'm like, okay, no problem. So we did a couple of those. And then now I came out with this other idea, and this shows you we're just going to go with the flow here. And we are going to...
And you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy every second of it.
So,
and if you don't, I swear.
So we wanted to tell you guys some funny stories. We wanted to tell you something. We wanted to tell you what we're up to. Well, not what we're up to, but you know what I meant. Just like our thinking behind this podcast. Give you a little bit more of an introspective episode here. And
if you want that, I don't know, just leave a comment down below if you want that.
yeah, leave a comment down below. Actually, what you could do, what would be really helpful, is if you liked or gave us a rating on Apple Podcasts and left a review. It doesn't have to be long.
Oh, yeah.
You can just say...
Because then you can tell us how you feel.
You can tell us how you feel. That being said, if your comment is just that you guys suck, unless it's like you're fucking around, I don't care. But if your comment is just you guys suck and you should die,
that's great. That's constructive. That gives me a lot to work with, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I would appreciate something like that.
Well, Dave, I have... Let me tell you, since I started getting a little traction on YouTube, my new thing with my channel.
Oh, okay. So now you're a big movie star now.
Apparently. No, the big thing with my YouTube channel, right, is that I started like looking at them and go, and I started getting mean comments, which is like, what's going to happen when you start doing anything.
Oh, that's definitely going to happen. You just got to ignore that.
Right. So I started, but here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. And sure, I'll look at it for that too. This is why I said what I said about, leaving the review.
Is that their home life is deteriorating and that you can't judge them based upon that one comment?
No. Yeah, I guess so, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. I mean, I hope everyone's fine.
I hope not, but I mean, that may be why they're angry.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
You don't know.
So my thinking was like, my thinking behind it is like, if somebody comes at me with like constructive criticism where they're not mean, they're just critical,
or like
and they come at you,
or like a rifle.
Yeah,
that,
like a BB gun
just
rifle.
Looks like a bolt action rifle.
Yeah, no, like if someone comes at me and they're like, hey man, like, and they give me like a long thought out like critique or critical analysis, I'm totally into that. And I was like, somebody left that on one of my videos and I responded to them. And I have no problem with that. If you come on and you just go, bro, you fucking suck, or I don't need this video, and which is like a weird comment to make on a video, because you like watch the whole video and then you're like,
why did you watch it?
Yeah, literally, no, like you'll get comments be like,
what are you
I
doing?
already found this thing you mentioned in the video. It's like, then why are you watching it?
Good for you.
Why didn't you stop it once you realized you found it?
No, I have to see the end.
Yeah.
I have to know what happens after the credits.
Which I don't care. Even that doesn't bother me. It's just like, if you come in like that with that attitude, like if you leave a review that's just like, Dave and Ryan suck and should die, that doesn't tell us anything. That doesn't help.
That's perfect.
I mean, it's funny. We're going to laugh about it.
It's fun. We're going to laugh
about it. But like, it doesn't tell us anything. If you really want, like, give us information, that's awesome. Because then we could do something with it, or we can listen to it or think about it. And that's the approach I take with a YouTube channel. I actually more often than not, what I'll do is I'll just like and heart the comments that are mean. And then I don't say anything. Then I don't reply. Yeah. And every once in a while, like, or ever more often than not, when that happens, the person goes and deletes their comment, which is that's perfect. Which is amazing to me.
That's perfect. I don't ever use Reddit, but I used it one time because I was trying to get a gift from somebody, and it was like some specialty, like I don't remember what it was anymore, but like I go on, and like this person was like, they said some like crap comment where they were like, basically insinuating that like the state I lived in was shitty, but that's what I took it as. So I was like, yo, sick joke, dude. And they deleted their comment. And like when I went to search them up to like message them or whatever, they also got rid of their account. Like, oh my God. Like I didn't mean to like shit on you so hard you quit Reddit. But
yeah, yo, you hurt their soul, bro.
I did. I think he was genuinely asking a question, but it came across as like this arrogant, like, fuck you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I have the power to get people off of Reddit, is what I'm trying to say. So if you mess with me, that's what this story's about.
Dude, you're so powerful, bro.
I don't use it often, but when I do, it is a fucking reckoning.
It's just he brings down the fucking thunder of God, bro. He comes out of nowhere and he's like, boom. You out.
Talking once a year, maybe.
Every once in a while, like, yo, yeah. Can you imagine some like cyber terrorists on like they know he's on Reddit and they're just like bringing the big guns and like you just walk in. We need you to root him out, Dave. I'm like, all I did was trash talk somebody once on the internet, and they're like, that's exactly what we need.
I made one comment called "sick prank" or something, bro.
Like they're like,
sick prank, bro.
You're exactly what we need in this time. Okay.
Sick joke, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's funny how more often than not, people just like delete their comment. And I'm like, okay. That's fine. That just like tells
That's
me that like
crazy.
you didn't
It's
really
absolutely
mean what
crazy.
you wanted, wouldn't mean what you said. You just wanted to be a dick.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a dick, right?
Yeah,
come on now.
who doesn't like dick? Yeah.
Wait,
What?
wait, what?
Yeah, wait, what? But
Wait, what?
yeah, so I don't know. I think those are honestly I don't know. I just think the feedback is appreciated. And the more like I'm not gonna say like sit there and like write us a novel, but the more information you give us on something you like or dislike, that helps. And
Yeah.
I'm not like opposed to it. That doesn't mean we're gonna take your suggestion because we're obviously famous comedians and we know more than you.
Okay. Yes. So I'm sorry. I had to look up what I exactly said. I don't know what the comment was because the comment was deleted by the user. But it was they said something and it was like they were insinuating that my state sucked, and I was like, sick burn, kid. And like it's got all these like ridiculous upvotes, and this person has deleted their comment, and also this user is no longer a user.
Jesus Christ.
But I think the way he worded it, I think he genuinely wanted like an answer to his question, but the way he worded it, it was like, fuck you, kid.
I wonder if you actually got him. So, and I don't mean to dismiss your power.
No, my power is absolute, so it's fine.
But sometimes so like you have that exact like reaction where that happens, and I wonder, is it actually the case that he left the platform because of something you said to him, or is it just like it just was like happened to be like that was the last straw?
Oh,
right.
Oh
because the reason I say that, because my girlfriend used to work at AMP years ago, and she tells me all the time about how, and she probably is going to kill me for talking about this, but it's not a big deal. But basically, she talks to me about all the time about how she used to accidentally give customers free cases of water because she would ring them out incorrectly or something. So she's convinced that she's the reason that AMP went out of business, which is like a supermarket chain for those who don't know.
Oh, come on now.
Right.
Come on.
But
no, they went out of business because they're terrible at business.
Oh, for sure. I know that.
Like,
and like I said,
are.
like, listen, I'm not going to say it wasn't part of it, but it was probably such a small part that they probably didn't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't
really.
like, imagine like you're shutting, like, I don't know, imagine like somebody like takes all the money out of your bank account and they're just like, yeah, bro, like, you know what they did with I don't know, like, let's say you have like a couple $1,000s in your bank account. Like, dude, somebody entered your bank account. You're like, fuck, what? I'm broke now? Like, yeah, but then they bought a cheeseburger with it. With a couple bucks from that money. You'd be like,
yeah.
Okay, what
about the rest
like,
though?
That doesn't hurt or help me. It definitely doesn't help me. It just kind of annoys me that that's what they would do with that much money, but okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No. The reason they went into business is crappy business decisions, I'm assuming, because, and the reason I say that is because there are other grocery stores out there still, so clearly.
Yeah. No, definitely. She's just got like this guilt complex about everything.
You should do, instead of helping, you should make it worse. I'm told that that's what boyfriends do.
Yeah.
They make things worse. So you should just stick to your guns and make it worse. And be like, it was definitely your fault.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their books right now, Freedom of Information Act, and it's definitely those cases of water that put a multi-million-dollar company out of business.
Could you? That would actually be like such an elaborate prank. I don't know if I could pull it off.
Oh my God, you totally could. Just Freedom of Information Act, their bankruptcy filing.
Yeah, I should do that. That would be fun.
Oh no, they got bought out. Oh man, I don't know if you can Freedom of Information the buyout, but like you could if they went bankrupt, you could.
That's funny.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know, because it gets into that weird.
You know what? Just make it up instead.
It gets to
just
that. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, don't you get into that weird scenario where it's like it gets to like point where it's like kind of mean.
Yeah, that is pretty mean. But what you should do is just do it anyways because
like you're a famous comedian.
Because you're a famous comedian.
I'm testing out my comedy, you know. Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video, and it was dumb questions asked to comedians or something like that. This guy had a whole compilation of like live interviews and like sports announcers with like guest comedians on there, like Kevin Hart
Yeah.
and Bill Burr and stuff like that. And like they would ask them like really just like dumb questions, and the comedians would light them up. It was so funny to watch these guys just like I really wish I should probably just show you, but like they were just so quick-witted. It was insane. I am not even that quick-witted. It was insane. This, especially Bill Burr, like this guy was like, you talk crap about our show all the time or whatever, and then Bill Burr like just immediately turned around and just like roasted him into the ground. It was just so much. It was just so funny.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing. I remember reading like a story about Bill Burr, or someone told me either somebody told me or read this somewhere, that I think Bill Burr was doing like a show in, I think, Philly, and the crowd was all wasted by the time he got up, and so they were booing the shit out of him, and then all he did the rest of the time was just roast the crowd, and to the point where he won them back. Yes. And I think that's just like such an amazing thing to hear.
Yeah.
I don't
know how I would handle that.
I could actually speak to not that a little bit, but I took a stand-up class in college, and I remember basically our professor, who was a very lovely woman and also stand-up comedian, she basically would get like a comic friend of hers, someone she knew, like a comedian of hers, to like be the MC of the show, and they would come out, and they would also be a comedian. I remember that I was talking to, I forget the guy's name, but I remember talking to one of them one night. And basically, I was talking to the one guy the one night, and he was basically like saying how when he watches like a comedian like mess up on stage, that's actually one of his favorite moments to watch, because he said that there's no moment in like anything else that you do that's so raw and real than just watching them have to save themselves. And like if they can come back from that moment, that's like the ultimate sign that there's something there. Like if you can recover from that moment, then that's just like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's saying that that's such a feat if you can come back, make a comeback. If like maybe it's a little different. Like if you're on the outside, you don't know what the person's material is, or if you haven't been doing comedy, you don't know that they're messing up. But if you're a comedian, you may be able to pick up on that stuff. So that's just interesting.
Us, because we're professional
comedians. We're at the Laugh Factory
super
7 nights a week, 24 hours a day.
We're there all 8 days of the 72 weeks of the year.
Yeah, we're basically there on we're in every single planet on the solar system, even the gas giants.
You can check us out at the Chinese rover on Mars.
Yeah,
doing stand up there.
Yeah,
this Wednesday nights.
Yeah, basically. So. But yeah, so I could I could speak to that just a tiny bit. But
yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that is powerful, really interesting too.
Yeah, man. So
how you feeling, Dave?
Yeah, man, dude, I'm feeling pretty good. Why don't we wrap this train up, man? I don't really have too much more interesting stuff to say.
Yeah. So
I mean, I do, but I want to save it for next week.
Yeah. Gotta keep the fans coming back.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give them something.
Who knows? Maybe next week we'll write something. We'll see how we feel.
Yeah. Why don't you tell people what you've been up to, man?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them about your what you got going?
So
wow, that is insane. Are you kidding? Are you really doing?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I told Dave this, but I have like this joke with my friend, and he probably won't listen to this. I have this joke with my friend where I'll be like talking to him on like PlayStation or something, and I'll just like my mic, like I'll just keep like cutting myself out like on the mic on purpose, and he'll think that like I'm muted or like my mic's having issues, but it's not. I'm just being a dick. He'd be like, "Yo, dude, your mic's cutting out," and I'm like, "Hey, do you think that?"
That's awesome.
Anyway, yeah. So I have a YouTube channel. As the last time I checked, I have about 1,376 subscribers.
Dude, whatever, man.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm a big pussy. So full disclosure, folks. I had to change the name.
He
of
doesn't wear pants when he does.
I don't.
So.
But obviously, I do my my videos from the
waist down.
Waist down
only.
So, I'll be full disclosure, folks. I did this. I started this channel, and I've had to change the name so many times that I'm done changing the name. This is the last name change I made. It used to be just my name, but then I was like, this is too hard to find. Then I changed it to Super Ryan Games. Then I was like, this games is redundant. You know I'm talking about video games. Then I took off games and it was Super Ryan for a while. Then I blew up and I was like, this is awesome. Then everyone's telling me like, hey, there's this kid named Ryan who has like 30 million subscribers, and every time they search Super Ryan, he pops up. I'm like, well, that's going to be a problem.
That's going to be a big
That's
problem.
going to be a big whoops for me. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to change it to SRG, which is just Super Ryan Games, and make it simple. So
like it.
Simple. It was perfect, right? Then my girlfriend tells me the other day, very lovingly, like she wasn't saying it to like be mean. She was like, hey, honey, I love your name for the channel, but I also still can't find you. Now what's coming up is Rocket League videos. And I go, well,
oh my God.
Fuck. So then what I did now is I just did something very simple. I left the S, I left the G, and in the middle, I just changed the R to Reaper. So it's S Reaper G. And now, if you search my name,
in the world?
I know everyone's like, well, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. It was a thought I had. So it's S Reaper G. If you look it up on YouTube, you will find only me.
That is awesome.
Which is
really
all
cool.
I was looking for. Anyway, I didn't mean to go on too long. Dave, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Dude, honestly, if you want to know what I'm doing, I'm still riding a bike. That's me. I'm currently riding a bike, and I'm writing sketches in my free time. And I started... I'm thinking about doing this, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I'm thinking about giving up my job and then just not doing anything.
Yeah, just...
What do you guys think?
Yeah. You actually want to... We'll take some live callers right now. What do you guys think?
Yeah, actually, let's get caller one. Let's get caller on the line. Insightful. Truly insightful.
Yeah,
Thank
amazing.
you for calling. Thank you.
So that's all
much.
you had?
I don't really have too much.
Yeah, that's it?
Yeah, I don't really have too much. I'm writing fake commercials, and I'm really thinking about filming them. They'd be really funny. But I don't know the legalities of that. I'm pretty sure if it's parody, I'm allowed to do it. So
I think you have to avoid anything specific to brands. Like if it's
it was definitely gonna be like a brand.
No,
thing.
I think if it's like a parody on a brand,
it
like for example, like if you're talking about Nike and you're like, this is not Nike, this is Bikey or something like that. Like I don't think it's a problem because it's like obviously we know it's Bikey, but we know it's Nike, but like it's just I think if it's that, I think it's okay. But yeah. All right, that's cool. Yeah.
So
hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We decided to do something a little more freeform. So some weeks we're gonna write, some weeks we're not. Some weeks we're just gonna shoot the shit. Let us know. And the way you can do that is you can go to wherever you listen to your podcast and just listen to us. Or what you can do, which is much more helpful, is that you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. And you can also leave a comment. Well, those are the same thing. So you know what I mean? You could review and then leave a comment. I'm sorry?
We have an Instagram. Wait, we have an Instagram. We forgot the big announcement. I can't believe we forgot our big announcement.
We buried it into the end of the show. Dave, I'm going to let you take it away.
Delete this whole thing. Delete this whole episode, okay? Because we have to go back to the very beginning.
All right, folks.
We're going to say word for word.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
We have an Instagram. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but we have one.
It's just Ryan and Dave.
Actually, it's just Ryan and Dave. If you go on Instagram and you search up Ryan and Dave, I'm pretty sure you can find us. And if you really want to let us know how you feel, you can blow that up because there's nothing more that I would love than to be sitting at work and having you guys blow up my phone telling me how much I suck. That would be so great, and I would love that.
Yeah. I just want to double check that I'm giving the correct information.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. I'm just trying to make sure. What do we got here?
Yeah, it's just Ryan and Dave 04 and it's just R&D.
Yeah, you'll see the cover art that we have.
Yeah, you'll see the cover art. So yeah, if you can go on there, give it a follow if you haven't. If you gotten this deep in the episode, We're gonna try. You know what I'll do? I'll cut in a little blurb in the beginning, just so that way we can, we can address that. Anyway, point being, go follow that. And we don't have anything to announce today, but we're gonna start looking into maybe expanding a little bit, not in the terms, not like aggressively so, because we want to just like, we don't want to take off more than we chew, but we're going to look into maybe putting the podcast on maybe YouTube or another platform, just so that way there's more ways to access it. And we're going to probably look into like maybe making some more social media channels. So that way there's always like something you can see or watch from us. But otherwise, please go on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, leave us some, give us some love. And otherwise, that's all that we have for you today. And unless, Dave, you have something else you want to throw in last minute, like maybe, I don't know, you found a puppy on the street or something.
Nope, I got nothing. Nothing,
he killed the
crazy,
puppy. He killed
cool.
the puppy, folks. I'm just kidding. Dave didn't kill any puppies.
Wow.
That's the good way to end the episode.
We don't want this.
Yeah.
We don't want this.
Yeah. Let me just leave
That's
that.
a different kind of hate online, dude.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut.
That's like world
ending. I just
ending.
cut out that one part and just like put that up as an episode and like Dave killed the puppy.
Oh my jeez.
Nobody got hurt. It was just a very morbid and bad joke.
It was terrible.
Anyway,
okay. Cool.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Well,
Dave, why don't you send us off?
Guys, it's been real. I've had a lot of fun telling you about the time I got a gun pointed at me, and I really hope that you guys take what I said to heart, because it's a truly empowering story, and I cannot wait to see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you all soon.